Hello, what is going on, everybody? Liam here, Everything NYJ. I'm back with another little video for you guys. And as a Jets analyst, I try to stay pretty even keeled. I don't really get too high. I try not to get too low. When it's good, I'll call it good. When it's bad, I'll call it bad. With that being said, the way I am feeling now from Mike White's performance on Sunday, I'm still feeling pretty warm and fuzzy on the inside. So I have a question. Do you guys think the New York Jets have a quote unquote guy in Mike White? It's a fair question to ask. I understand, and I don't want to hear that it was against the Chicago Bears, one of the worst defenses in football. So freaking what? So what? Mike White proved that he is a competent quarterback. Once again, we saw this against Cincinnati. We saw him do it against the Colts up until he got injured. He had that one bad game against Buffalo, and he hasn't played in over a year. And he came in to a monsoon at MetLife Stadium this past Sunday against the Chicago Bears and opened a can of whoop ass. He did. He absolutely did. And like I said, I try not to get too high, I try not to get too low, but he exposed a bad defense. That's what a mature NFL quarterback does. If we would have lost that game, we would have been saying, oh my God, Mike White is garbage, whatever. The point is, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns. We had over 200 passing yards coming out of halftime. Mike White, at the very least, is a serviceable, competent NFL backup. He's a free agent at the end of the year. I say that we need to re-sign this guy. And he has earned at least the next 2 games, if not more. We gave Zach Wilson how many weeks to try to get it together? And yes, we were winning in spite of Zach. And I have been called a Zach apologist many times. I have apologized and made many excuses for Zach Wilson, thinking that maybe he can be the guy. But I think that he's going to need possibly the rest of this season and all of the off season to get his head right, to maybe figure it out. Because I have no faith that Zach Wilson comes back maybe next month and all of a sudden just figures it out and he's throwing for 300 yards. Zach Wilson has thrown for over 300 yards once in his NFL career, once in 20 games. And that what came along with that was 3 interceptions and possibly his worst game against the New England Patriots this season. At home. At MetLife Stadium. You could argue that maybe Zach Wilson, if he played this game against Chicago, he looks pretty good because of how bad their defense is. But I'm not convinced that Zach Wilson would have thrown for 315 yards against the Chicago Bears. I'm just not. I'm not. Mike White, like Robert Saleh said, made the easy look easy. He's getting the ball to his playmakers. He played boring football when he had to. Newsflash, Zach Wilson. It's okay to play it's okay to play boring football. It's okay to take the checkdowns. It's okay to complete a screen pass. On 1st and 10, you don't always need a first down. You don't always need 10 yards. It's okay to take 3-4 yards. It's okay to dump off the ball. Mike White just flourishes in this system, and because of this, Mike LaFleur is able to open up his entire playbook, opening up to the middle to back pages, and we could really play some exciting, creative football here. He's tried it a couple of times with Zach Wilson, but when Zach Wilson is missing screen passes, throwing the ball 10 yards over Braxton Berrios' head, we can't even get past page 1. we have the ability to open up our entire playbook, see what a real Mike LaFleur offense is. Because I think that there's part of this offense that we haven't even seen yet. We have the chance at becoming a playoff team. But you know what it is? It's one game at a time, 1 week at a time. But looking ahead, I'm not expecting 315 yards every single week against Mike White. I don't think that's fair to say. But Mike White has proven to us that he is a competent quarterback. He's more mature. And if you look at the draft status, second overall pick Zach Wilson versus 2018 fifth round pick Mike White, Zach Wilson ideally should be the better quarterback. But if you take somebody that hasn't watched any Jets, any NFL, no knowledge on football, and you have them watch Zach Wilson, and then you have them watch Mike White, you tell me who the better quarterback is. Again, I get it. It's against the Chicago Bears. But Mike White has not played an NFL game all season. All season long. And we're in week 12. The Chicago Bears have had 12 weeks to prepare, 12 weeks to get their shit together, and they haven't. They're a bad NFL team. And this is a team that, yes, we should have beaten because we were 6-4 going into this game. On paper, we're the better team, and we proved that we are the better team. And this game helped the confidence of Mike White. Mike White's feeling like $1 million. The team gravitates towards him. I'm watching his post-game show, his post-game interview on the field on Fox, and all the players are just running up, celebrating with him. Mike White is such a likable guy, and this team is gravitating towards him. They are. They like him. They respect him. They understand that Mike White gives them a chance to win. If Mike White can get them the ball in space, they will handle the rest. Mike White is not holding Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Braxton Berrios, Corey Davis, the tight ends. He's not holding them back. You could argue that Zach Wilson was holding them back. It's a fact. He was playing terrible football. He deserves to be benched. I'm not willing to give up on Zach Wilson. I'm not ready to. I'm not going to say that Zach Wilson is a complete bust. But we've given him multiple weeks to improve, and if anything, he's degressed. So I think that Robert Saleh and the Jets owe it to the players and owe it to us fans and owe it to Mike White to give him at least a couple of weeks. Is Mike White somebody that, let's say we do make a playoff run, is he somebody that could be starting week 1 for us next year because he's the better quarterback? Do we need to talk about a quarterback controversy? Is that fair to say? Is that possible? I think it is. And like I said, I'm not trying to be like too high on this one win. I'm excited to see what Mike White can do against a good Minnesota Viking team. If he could even split with the Vikings or the Bills, preferably the Bills because that's the divisional game, Mike White could walk us right into the playoffs, guys. It's not unrealistic. Mike White, at the very least, like I said, not to beat a dead horse, is a competent quarterback. He is. He's mature. He can read defenses. He takes the easy plays. He makes the boring plays. And every once in a while, we see a 54-yard touchdown pass to Garrett Wilson. Let me know what you guys think. Do we have a guy in Mike White? Let me know. We'll talk Jets soon. Have a good one.